What finally made the funniest kid in our school go quiet? Everyone knew Dario. He was the reason first period was survivable. He hosted every assembly, won, most likely to get famous interrupting someone 2 years running, and had this gift where his jokes never had a victim. When a freshman tripped and launched her books across the main hall, Dario immediately spiked his own backpack like a football and yelled, "It's a movement!" And suddenly everyone was laughing at him, with her, and she was laughing too. When a transfer kid kept eating alone, Dario declared that table the executive lounge and started a waiting list to sit there. By October, the kid needed a bigger table. Senior year, Dario ran the morning announcements like a tiny late-night show. The vice principal tried to cancel it once for being a distraction, and within 2 days there was a petition with 900 signatures. The announcements came back. The vice principal read the weather report as a guest. That was the power Dario had. The winter showcase was supposed to be his crowning night. He'd been building a set for months with his best friend since 3rd grade, Miko, who was his quiet co-writer, the one who punched up every bit but never wanted the stage. The auditorium was packed to standing room. Dario came out hot. He did 5 minutes on our school's ancient heating system, developing a personality. People were crying, laughing, phones out everywhere. And then, mid-sentence, he stopped. He was looking at the side of the stage, into the wings. He stood there for maybe 10 full seconds, an eternity with a live mic. Then he crouched down, set the microphone on the stage floor with this strange, deliberate gentleness, and walked off through the side door. Nobody knew if it was a bit. The whole room sat in this confused half-laugh, waiting for the punchline to come back through the door. It never did. The drama teacher came out and said Dario wasn't feeling well, and you could tell she was improvising. He was out for a week. When he came back, he was a different person. Polite, quiet, present, but the light was off. No announcements, no bits. Teachers didn't know what to do with a Dario who just took notes. The real story surfaced slowly, the way true things do. What Dario had seen in the wings was Miko's older sister, who had come straight from the hospital to find him. Because that afternoon, while the auditorium was filling up, Miko had tried to end his life. He survived. I want to say that immediately, because it's the most important sentence in this story. He survived, and he got real help. But here's the part Dario finally talked about months later, sitting in his car in the school lot after we'd loaded equipment, staring straight ahead through the windshield. The signs had been everywhere, he said, and he'd turned every single one into material. Miko had stopped coming to lunch, and Dario built a running joke about him going corporate on us. Miko gave away his sneaker collection, the one he'd spent 3 years building, and Dario did a whole bit about him entering his minimalist era. Miko had been posting strange, heavy things at 3 in the morning, and Dario would reply with memes because that was their language, because that had always worked. He kept opening the door, Dario told me, and I kept doing tight 5 minutes in the doorway. He didn't need the funny friend, he needed a friend, and I only knew how to be one of those. I've never heard anything sadder said in a parked Honda. Here's the ending, and it's real. Miko came back in the spring, on his own timeline, with support behind him, and the first morning announcement Dario did after months of silence wasn't a joke. He got on the intercom and said, "Bad joke Wednesday is back next week, but first, text the funniest person you know and ask how they're actually doing. I mean today. The funny ones are the best hiders. I would know." The school went dead quiet, homeroom by homeroom. Then he told a genuinely terrible joke about the heating system, and the building laughed, and it meant something completely different than it used to. They do the show together now, Dario and Miko, out loud, both of them. Once a month, the counselor gets a segment, and attendance at her office went up so much they hired a second one. Dario still wins every room he walks into. He just asks better questions on his way in. Check on your funny friends. That's the whole story. That's the entire point. A quick note outside the story. This one touches on suicide, which is a heavy topic to work with, even in fiction. If any of this is ever close to home for you personally, I'm glad to help you find the right support and resources. Just say the word.